Hey, Jose, we need another one for your collection, eh? Hey, look, Boodle! Hey, how come you're not playing hockey, eh? Don't do that.
They're not the canned garbage that you listen to. They're real. They're from Canada. It's super cold, so they have to rock super hard to stay warm. I'll take your word for it.
Confined under the psychiatric care.
Now, I think he just pressed one of these buttons here.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Will and Why's The Dog Show Drive.
Canadian edition.
I'm Will.
And I'm Why.
Just because. Anyway, this week on The Drive, we're going to talk about the Crufts Dog Show.
Yep.
One of the most prestigious dog shows in the world. And our connection to the winner. and then we're going to go take a step back in time and talk about the Canadian National Sportsmen Show. And that was basically Canada's version of Westminster back in the day.
It was.
And we're also going to talk about our question of the week, which was on the Facebook page, The Dog Show Drive Canadian Edition. So please join all that and more on this week's edition of Will and Why's The Dog Show Drive.
Canadian edition.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Dog Show Drive with Will and Why.
Canadian edition.
Canadian edition. I'm Will, and of course,
I'm Why.
he's Why.
Yep.
Just because.
Just because.
How was your weekend?
My weekend wasn't bad. What did I do this weekend? Oh, I guess I just worked.
Can't
Right?
remember.
I had a bit of a mishap last night.
Yeah.
Somehow I tripped and I fell in my bathroom and I put my head through the drywall. So it was I got a bit of a headache today, not gonna lie.
So we have to keep you awake, concussion.
Don't laugh, because that's what I thought before I went back. When I crawled back into bed, I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be sleeping. What happens if I just don't wake up?
You have to go to the quiet room, the concussion protocol room.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But I hurt my shoulder. Yeah, I hurt my shoulder. I think my shoulder took the brunt of it, though. Even though my head went through the drywall, my shoulder, I think, took the brunt of it, because my shoulder's really sore today. It's a good thing I don't have
Because
pain.
you were going through and your shoulder stopped you. Oh.
Yeah.
Only the miracle of yoga saved her.
Only the miracle of yoga. But it's smarted. It's smart. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Smarted. And
Don't lie. Don't lie to us.
I try not to lie. But I mean, the good thing is I did want to paint that bathroom. So after Darren fixes the drywall, maybe I'll paint my bathroom now. But yeah, I can't remember anything else I did this weekend. Oh, I went to a concert. My cousin and I went to the Roy Cran Big Band Sounds.
Oh, nice. Very
That was nice.
Yep.
Yes, actually, it was really good, because it was country western meets big band. It was good. Chris Krinky was there. He played. He's actually very kind of famous.
I don't know.
He was on the Tommy Hunter show all the time.
Oh.
Yes. And
I don't think I ever watched one episode of the Tommy Hunter show.
No, I'm gonna have to check your citizenship, because Tommy Hunter was a staple here. Anyway.
I was probably watching Definition or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that was a good time, and yeah.
Oh, good.
So
Good.
Yep. And
I
you had a very busy weekend. Yes.
Yeah. We had our old York Kennel Club this weekend. It was myself and Linda Torrance and Daria Kucher and Rob Morrison. Rob of course, couldn't make it this weekend, so it was just the three of us. Mm-hmm. But if you, in reality, it was just the two of them.
It's only taken you that many years to admit that you're just the face. You're just the face of the show.
But it went really well. We had a great panel, and it was so much fun to see. Thora was there. Thora Brown was there on the Saturday night, and she was back where she belongs. judging in the center of the ring. She was great, and she had so much fun, and she had so much fun seeing everybody.
Oh, for sure.
Memories.
Yeah.
And then just going to work in the ring, it was fun to watch her again. It really was. It was fun to watch her.
It was the first weekend I've actually watched. I watched Your Best in Show every day.
Yeah.
Even Thursday. Like,
wow.
Because I don't normally do that. First of all, I usually
think
forget.
The show was quite successful. So
yeah. The lineup was beautiful. Like every day, Best in Show was that was a great lineup every day. So a lot of good dogs. That's what some of the judges were told me too. Like the quality of dog at that show was.
Yeah, we got some really good feedback from the judges that came that had never really judged in Canada before, and they were really quite astounded by the quality. So that's nice to hear. It really is,
Yeah, for sure.
We're growing. I think I can say this now. We're moving to Lindsay next year.
Nice.
To the Lindsay Fairgrounds because we've outgrown Caledonia. Caledonia has been great to us.
Yeah.
But we're running out of room inside. So,
Yeah, because I've only been to that showgrounds in the summer.
In the summer, right.
But then the building is only utilized for the smaller breeds, terriers and non-sporting, whatever. And then everybody else is outside, and I'm usually one of the outside people, right? Because of sporting dogs. So
because you're always on the outside.
Yeah.
Looking in.
Yeah. Always.
We're a bit punchy because we were both tired. Well, she smashed her head in the wall, and I'm tired.
I might possibly have a brain injury. So who knows where this podcast may end up. So anyhow.
It was a very exciting weekend. I got to see some old friends. Luke Eric was up. Kelly Fitzgerald was up. And they were doing the special events, the best bread buying show and the best.
Why don't we go through it for like across Canada? Why don't we just get right into that? So, driven by Show Scene Magazine. Show Scene, where every dog takes center stage. Yeah. Back to you, Will.
We always talk about Lid and we talk about the Torrance travel.
Yeah.
She's so far behind. She's only on episode 2.
Are you serious?
Yes. So I know. But yeah, she's only on episode 2, and so I think she needs to catch up. She needs to do a all-day dog show drive, fest.
Exactly.
Get caught up on everything that we've been saying and
doing.
Yeah. Anyway, the Old York Kennel Club, March 6th to 9th, 2025. Thursday's Best in Show judge was Jason Hope from Wisconsin. It was great to see Jason. He was one of the judges that was a little, he thought, wow, what a great lineup of dogs. He enjoyed his dogs immensely.
That's good.
And that Thursday, the entry was 208. We went to 4 days this year, so we didn't know how that would turn out.
Yeah.
It turned out fine, Friday's Best in Show was Paul Lawless from Ireland. Entry 240. Paul is hilarious.
Oh, is he? So I've never met the man.
Oh, and he gave me this.
Yeah.
And it has
large
has Irish Kennel Club logo on it, and then the back has all the breeds, the Irish native breeds.
It's a medallion, isn't it?
A medallion,
medallion, yes.
Yes. They like me. They really like. Anyway,
Yeah, it's really nice. And on the back was the breed heads of the Irish
native breeds. Yes,
the native breeds of Ireland. Yeah, it's very pretty. Yeah.
And as you said earlier, Saturday night was Best in Show judge was Thora Brown.
Yes.
From Almont, Ontario.
Isn't it Almonte?
No, it's Almont. Home of basketball. That's the town where Dr. Naismith, he's from. He's the one that came up with basketball.
I know. And the reason
Almont, not Almonte. It's not a fruit cup.
I'm just saying it like that because when I watch Murdoch Mysteries and they had an episode with Dr. Naismith, they called it Almonte.
It's Almont. It's Almont.
Right. Fine.
And then Sunday's Best Show judge was Rodrigo Quezada. I think I said that wrong. But he tried to give me a lesson before I introduced him. He's from Chile, Santiago, Chile.
Chile.
Wonderful man. He had a hit, and he had a blast. He had so much fun. This was his first time in Canada, and he really had fun. He really had fun.
Really?
Yeah. His entry was 279.
Nice.
The other judges on the panel were friend of the show, Raymond Urich.
I know that guy.
From British Columbia.
Now from British Columbia.
Yeah. Originally from
Thunder Bay.
Thunder Bay.
Yep.
Murillo, Thunder Bay.
Actually, if we want to get real technical, Murillo.
And Denis Dancouche from Quebec.
Yes.
And Robert Denis from Ontario. He's and also we had, like I said earlier, the special judges.
Don't forget Judith Taylor.
Oh, Judith Taylor. Yes, Judith Taylor was there. She's from Cambridge, Ontario. Yeah. She judged the first day, and she flew off to the Philippines.
Oh,
so she had a busy weekend ahead of her.
Yeah,
but she was great. She had a great time.
Good.
And then we had the two specialty judges, Luke Eric from Toledo, Ohio. He judged the owner handler in show, best owner handler in show, best owner he's bred by bred by in show. Yes. And then Kelly Fitzgerald from Michigan, 2-time best show winner at Westminster.
Yep.
Yeah, I like to say that because it makes Luke upset. Anyway. She was there. She judged best owner handled in show.
Yeah.
And it was great. Both lineups were like amazing. They were best in show lineups for sure.
They were. They're fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Bouvier bitch of Elaine Paquette's won. Yes. So Elaine Paquette won best breeder owner. She won both owner handled in show and best breeder in show. So yeah. Best bred by. Yes, best bred by in show. So it was a wonderful event to have. I like people stayed, like they all stayed to watch it. It was well supported. It was very exciting, and it was great to see Kelly and Luke in the rings because Luke judged Saturday and Kelly judged Sunday, and they're both naturals in the ring. Like they need, when the time comes, they need to write the tests and become officials because they were excellent.
Yes. Yeah, you could see it when I was watching. You can tell when people have it's just like their natural place to be.
Yeah.
And with both of them. Great. Yeah. So also we should mention the best friends.
Yes, Best Friends had a great turnout of the Best Friend. They had a table with all kinds of artwork donated from the Wendy Keeler estate. Wendy Keeler was a owner of, Lorik Brook Sporting Chance. That was this greyhound that Harold Butler showed, Pharaoh. And it was always a big thing to see Pharaoh's ads because they would do at Christmas time. Harold would be dressed up as Santa Claus. It was always a theme that they were doing, and it made us remember Pharaoh. Not that he wasn't he was memorable anyway. He was the top hound of many years when he was being shown. But it was great to get all these Sighthound artwork from the Wendy Keeler estate, and I believe that Best Friends had a great.
Now explain a little bit what best friends are, because a lot of especially new people.
Friends, well, I've already I've had a talk with Joanne Griffith, who
so we'll have her on another time. Mm-hmm.
She basically runs Best Friends, so I don't want to get anything wrong. Best Friends is in support of Canadian dog people in need, basically.
Right.
So they will try to financially support. You have to apply for the support. I believe I don't want to overstep my bounds here, but you have to apply for the support, and then it goes to a board. Because there's a board. It's much like to Take the Lead in America. It's just Best Friends in Canada.
And you said you had a conversation with Joanne, so we'll have that on one of the podcasts.
We haven't had it yet, but we're going to.
Yeah,
And
so we'll
she's
have
going
it
to
on
be.
one of
I'm
the.
going to have her on next week. So
Okay, perfect. So
Yeah.
then people will be more aware of, and if you'd like to make a donation or help out at any of the shows when they're
donations.
doing.
Yeah, any help is appreciated.
Yeah.
They need people to set up these events at shows and sit there and talk to the patrons and just be there for best friends. So
And it's
I'm sure
definitely
Joanne,
such a worthy cause too.
oh, there's no question.
You know.
It's going to help
And
people.
and I think that also speaks to our dog show family, how we do try and look after our own, for sure.
Yeah, we try. There's no question. And Joanne is tireless at this. She's a wonderful ambassador for it, and she is tireless. She was there from beginning to end each day.
That's a long day, and I'm sure she was showing dogs in between too.
Well, no, I didn't. I think she may have showed one or two. But Johnny was there showing dogs.
Oh, okay, so Johnny was in charge. Johnny was in charge.
The man, the myth. The man among men, Johnny G. He was there showing dogs, and but Joanne was at the booth. Every time I walked by, she was there talking to somebody about best friends. And then on Sunday at noon, we pulled tickets to see who won what, and it was fun. It's really well attended and
good
and looked after. Anyway, we have to go back to entries. Entries were down a bit. But I'm glad we moved to 3 days because that kind of helped. 4 days, that kind of helped us. But on Friday last year was 279, Saturday's 378, and then Sunday was 320. So it was down, just like it's been down across the country.
Yeah.
So
I honestly think people are just they're budgeting for stuff. I really do.
Yeah.
I really do.
Because there's a financial scare in our world right now up here. It's
big time.
It's not funny. So. It's affecting us all, and people have to make choices.
Yep.
So
yep. And for most of us, showing our dogs it's a luxury, or it's where the extra money goes. Yep. But if we're worried about having any extra money at the end of the quarter or the month, we're going to be taking note. So
right.
But also, so that was awesome that you had a great weekend, and then we had another show out west in BC.
Go ahead.
The Mount Cheam Canine Association, and that was over the weekend as well, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday's best in show judge was Juan Miranda. Can't say his last name. Sacado, and he is from Mexico, and they had an entry of 208. Saturday, his best in show judge was Dr. Michael Woods from Nova Scotia. I haven't seen Dr. Woods in a long time, and that entry was
Dr. Woods. He doesn't like it when we call him Dr. Woods, but I do anyway. So
exactly. With an entry of 231, and then Sunday's best in show was judged by Joylyn Huntley of Ontario.
Friend of the show, and had an entry of 248. And those entries too down a bit. In last year in 2024, Fridays was 255. Saturday was 289, and then the Sunday show was 276. So down anywhere between 20 up to almost 30 or 50 dogs a day. So not across the whole weekend, but still. You know, let's hope they can build them back up again. But I'm sure people are just being tentative again. They're worrying about the future. So
So not much we can do, just except take note. So
good thing I get my eggs from Captiva Kennels.
we have a guy that hope he gets eggs from Alan. I don't know who Alan is, but hope he gets eggs from
your
Alan.
Egg pusher. Need some eggs.
Got any cartons? You got any cartons?
I've got a refrigerator full of eggs because whenever myself or Tori goes over there, they come back with a carton of eggs.
Yeah, eggs last a long time. People
like a parting gift from Captiva Kennels.
Don't forget to take your dozen on the way out. Almost like a bus transfer. There you go. So. Well, the other big news across the dog show world, though, was Crufts was held.
Crufts happened, yes.
Yeah, so that's a bucket list for me. I want to go to Crufts. I have not been.
Go to Crufts.
Have you?
Yeah, I know. I've never been to Crufts. So,
So want to go. So
yeah. Do you want to go ahead through this?
No, you can. Remember, I have a
okay.
headache. I have a brain injury.
Well, all right, I'll do my best. Best in Show, the judge was Mrs. E.P. Hollings. Best in Show went to the Whippet International Multiple Champion Una Donna Che Corta U23, the Whippet bitch. Now, this is an interesting because Alicia Cordini, who owns the bitch, and I guess her mother, by the looks of Mrs. A. Cordini, she now works for Adam and Katie. And that's their new assistant. And Moochie, as the bitch is called, Moochie. I hope I said that right. Moochie. She is Alicia's pet. And
nice.
Yeah.
Just a house dog. Just a house dog going to the Crufts.
But they're driving to York now. Adam and Katie and Alicia and the rest of the team, Jenny and Freddie and whoever else is with them. And that's just amazing that Best in Show from Westminster and Best in Show from Crufts are now driving in the same truck.
That's awesome. That's great.
Yeah. So, yeah.
That's crazy. Well, that's awesome.
Yep. And you can tell by the picture that just was up how much she loves Moochie. So
yeah.
And reserve Best in Show was a Tibetan Mastiff. I hope I can say these names.
That's why I didn't want to do it.
Viking, owner Mr. V. Molnar.
That was a beautiful dog, though. I saw the lineup.
We don't have where the Tibetan Mastiff is from, though. Okay.
That's all right.
Sorry about that. And then the gun dog group, the judge was Mrs. K. Moores. And the group first was the English Cocker Spaniels. What they call the Cocker Spaniels.
Cocker Spaniels, yes, they call it Cockers. Very confusing when you're sitting there watching and they're going the Cocker Spaniel, and we just tend to think American Cocker Spaniel when you say Cocker Spaniel. And so
because it's England, it's their Cocker Spaniel.
She walks up to the Ingie, and I'm like, I have to take a second. Yeah.
Let's see if I can say this. Sierra Dawn's Blanche. Owner Mr. D.C. and Mr. D. Todd.
MD Todd.
Ramen.
Todd.
Yeah.
Todd and
That's
Ramen.
right.
Yep.
Well, that's right.
Yes.
And in the Hound group, the judge was Miss M. Pearson from Sweden. Group first, again, was Moochie the Whippet.
Mm-hmm.
Owned by A. Carradini and Elisa Carradini.
Yep.
Corradini.
Yeah.
The pastoral group overall was Judge Mr. K. Young. I'm wondering if, because there's no country, if they're from the UK when there's no country beside their name.
Probably.
Group first was the Australian Shepherds of Paradise Tiss Milkshake, please. Wow, that's a lot, isn't it? Miss P. LaRoche is the owner. The Terrier group was Mr. A. Westwood. Group first was the Jack Russell Terrier, Tognes Hannibal. And it was interesting because I read a post, and the breed judge was Sean Delmar from Ireland. He was going on about how excited he was to judge the breed at Crufts, and his breed winner wins the group. So
nice.
Good on you, Sean.
That was a little handsome little dog too.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we
owned by Mr. S. Segura.
Segura, thank you. See.
Yeah.
And the toy group was Mr. T. Alcock, OBE.
That's the order of the. It's an English title.
Like Order of British Empire. Maybe?
Yes, I think so. Yeah. It's only because I watched the Graham Norton show. I know that.
Okay. Have you're here. Okay. Group first was the Papillon Champion Glen Erin's Miracle Star Maker, owned by Mrs. I and Mr. G. Robb. Mm-hmm. And then we go on to the utility group, judged by friend of the show, Mrs. Anne Ingram from Ireland. Yep. And group first is the miniature Schnauzer.
Schnauzer.
Yep. Dante's Georgia on My Mind. Owner, Mr. AI and Mr. J.G. Luchin and Gonzalez Mendicote.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have working group, Judge Mr. T. Negrecha.
Negrecha. Yeah, sure.
Negrecha? It doesn't say Italy. I'm not going to put the emphasis on it. Group first is the Tibetan Massive. Again, Dosiez Viking. I hope I said it right. Owner, Mr. V. Molnar.
Yes.
Yeah, and nice. Also want to throw our own congratulations to junior handler Abby Mann for her competition, competing at Crufts, because it's just an amazing that anyone who makes it there and gets invited to judge to compete in junior handling and Crufts, you're a winner in our books. So, and she did a great job. We all got to watch her show, and
she did a fantastic job. Yeah, she represented our country very well.
Very well. Yeah. So congratulations, Abby.
And there were some Canadians there that did well. I saw.
Yeah, I don't want to go ahead and say that because I think we better get Megan to look that up for us so we can find the Canadian winners.
Megan, we need to know some of the
Megan's
Crufts
jobs. I don't want to miss
Canadian
anybody
connections in Crufts.
I feel bad if we miss somebody because we did see there was a Borzoi and the Havanese, but I want to get their names and breeders and
let's do it right, not just
Don't want to miss anything. So reminders for closing.
Yep. Club Canine de l'Estrie, Victoriaville, Quebec closes March 17th, which is that Monday?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's Monday. St. Patty's Day, isn't it? St. Patty's Day closes on Monday. Then the Nickel District Kennel Club and Associated Specialties held in Coniston, Ontario, which is close to Sudbury Town. That is also closing next Wednesday, March the 19th. And then the Red Deer and District Kennel Club, brain injury, held in Red Deer, also closing on Wednesday, March 19th as well. And so all this and more has been brought to you by Canuck Dogs, your source for Canadian canine event information online. And then we still have some other shows coming up too. The Newfoundland All Breed Club, April 5th to 6th, 4 all breed shows, the Zone 1A Junior Handling Finals. And that show secretary is Katie Manning. Guelph and District Kennel Club in Fergus, Ontario, April 10th through the 13th, 2025.
We don't have closing dates on that.
No, that's because they're a little ways away yet. Megan will put them on next week, I'm sure. 4 all breed shows, unlimited breed shows for groups 1, 2, 3, and 7. And that show secretary is friend of the show, MJN Show Services.
Yeah, Miss Vicky.
Oh, there. So that's that for across Canada and the world, it seemed.
Now we're going to take a step back in time. And this step back in time is going to be brought to you by Canadian Dog Fanciers, a weekly summary of purebred dog events across North America.
And where
friends
gather.
Where friends gather. TM. So go ahead and start. I'm going to throw in my tidbits as you talk.
All right. See, I had to save myself for this. So as we said last week, we were going to do the Sportsmen show. And it's no longer a show that is held, but it was very prestigious back in the day. So
oh my God, it was it started off our show season, basically. It really did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, back then. I can't think of, like, later on, Chinguzi started the year off. We didn't have Wildwood shows back then. I can't remember when Woodstock changed its dates. Woodstock was in the summer originally and not at the beginning of the year. So I
remember Woodstock in the summer.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that the Sportsman show, the March break, was basically the beginning of our Canadian show season, at least in Ontario. There may have been something out west, like Ladies or something like that, but I think it was the Sportsman show that was the beginning of the Ontario sports, our show season. So
cool.
Carry on.
All right. So all this information was brought to us by our friend in R&D, Megan Wozniak. So she's done a great job.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
She's more than a friend of the show. She's research. She's like Garcia on Criminal Minds. She looks up everything for us.
She is.
Yeah.
All right.
We need something looked up or researched.
Megan.
Garcia?
Yeah. All right. So the Sportsman Show, or officially the Canadian National Sportsmen's All-Breed Championship Dog Shows, began in Toronto in 1949. It was a bench show that was part of the Sportsmen's Expo. It was sponsored by the Toronto Anglers and Hunters Association.
Can I just explain what the bench show is? A bench show is you're assigned literally a bench. It's about a foot and a half off the ground and it's enough room for your dog's crate. You can put a table in front of it, but your dog needs to be on display because that's why they wanted bench shows. Mm-hmm. So the public could come in to see all the Irish setters, all the Gordon setters, all the English setters. So they were all in the sporting benching area. Yeah. Yep. So, and you had to be there at a certain time. I want to say by 9 a.m. in the morning, they had to be there, and they weren't allowed to leave until like 4 o'clock.
Much like the Garden.
Yeah, much like Westminster.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that was our bench show in Canada. I think it was maybe Greenwood, but I think it was the only bench show in Canada. I think. Yeah,
I don't know of any other. I've never been to a bench show in Canada. Period.
Yeah, I'd have to ask Mother Whitney. She'd know for sure.
Yeah. So, and then all the profits from the show were used for the promotion of conservation of our natural resources, specifically forests and streams. So very much like a Ducks Unlimited type of association.
It was a great event.
Yeah. The show's theme was sportsmanship, and the dog show played the leading role to promote that over the weekend. How about them apples?
It ran all week long. I think the 7 day of the Sportsman Show, there was at least five all-breed dog shows.
Wow. Back then, that would have been lots.
That was a lot. And you had to take, like, it was March breaks was great for us kids. But
right.
Parents had to take the time off to go and spend the whole time at the dog show, because you would spend the whole day at the dog show. Like I remember taking off with Steve and Paul Bernhardt and going through the Coliseum and getting ourselves in trouble and losing Paul in the boat area. but it was an event. It really was. And you got to see everyone, like in your dog world, like Tommy Glassford, Bill Traynor, Peter Green, George Ward. They all came up for that show.
Wow.
Yeah, it was an amazing event, and Susan Hillman always flew in. I'm sure Pat Tripp flew in back before that. Even it was an amazing event, and I loved it that it was benched because you had to stay there. So I got to listen to all these people talk, and they would never shoo me away. They were great. Yep. They were great.
So
anyway,
the
on.
Sportsman Show was famous for having large pools where people could come learn to cast and fish, as well as having obedience demos on stage, and even large pools to demonstrate how water retrieving worked with dogs.
Which another interesting fact. I'm sorry to keep it, but you're reminding me of these things.
Yeah.
My dad showed a Labrador, Roshan's RJ Thumper, and he competed in the lab trials in the Coliseum. Went third in his class, came back soaking wet, and went third in the sporting group.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. The dog show itself was compared to Westminster Kennel Club at the time for the number of dogs and the quality of the dogs in the rings. In 1955, entries were 1,802 dogs, which was the all-time record in Canada for a show. I don't know. Have we ever beat that record? I
think so. I think Putta Valley and I think Lower Mainland topped it eventually. Okay. But think about the timing.
Exactly.
And back then, because you couldn't fly dogs, people would take the train in from Manitoba and the East Coast to bring their dogs to the Sportsman Show.
Yeah. So just think about the amount of the time to travel on a train to get across this country. It's not a supersonic train back then either.
No, not back then. Yeah. And you had to look after your dogs. Like they had a car for dogs, and you have to go back there, and they had an Xing area, and it was quite the feat to get here.
Yeah. And in 1955, a third of the entries were American dogs. So, you talk about them coming up for the show.
Yeah. We had some of the biggest winning American dogs show up here. It was amazing time,
Yeah. And it was one of the first shows to have the benching area and the judging areas separated, giving more space and a more relaxed atmosphere for dogs, judges, and exhibitors alike. And
it seemed huge. It was held at the Queen Elizabeth building, and it seemed, when I was a kid, it seemed massive.
Yeah.
Like you could get lost. Now you drive by and think, oh, it's just not that big. It's not as big as I remember it. Because it's still standing. It's at the exhibition place. So
yeah. And also the things that they did, they have the show also had a sense of fun with competitions for best decorated benches, which was a popular prize to win amongst the exhibitors. And of course, it was enjoyed completely by the spectators. The show held obedience trials as well, which were immensely popular. Sometimes the crowd around the rings watching were like 10 people deep.
Oh, I remember the Best in Show crowd. Just you couldn't move to get to the ring. Like, you had to make room. It was a time. No question.
So the first show was at March 25th. Well, that's my dad's birthday. 1949, with 480 dogs competing, with the inaugural winner being the American Cocker Spaniel champion Pine Far Puritan. The second year saw an entry of 359 dogs on March 22nd to the 25th, including 4 specialty shows. The winner, once again, was the American Cocker Spaniel champion Pine Fair Puritan. The show continued to be very well attended. The 25th anniversary show had record-breaking numbers for the time and had 107 different breeds competing, which was quite remarkable. That is like...
For back then, it was incredible,
And you have to remember the working and the herding group were still one.
Group, 6 groups, yeah.
Yeah, it was only been 6 groups. So I have a
picture of the working group, and it has Long John Silver in it, the Newfie that Martha Thorne showed. It has the Bouvier Gary showing. Had Scott McNair with his Doberman. It had Jeremy Brown with his Malamute. Who else is in that picture? Doc Brown with her Pyrenees.
Yeah.
I forget who maybe was Harry Watson with the Shepherd. But it was incredible. Incredible.
So in 1975, the show shattered Canadian records, having the largest show entries of any Canadian show at that time. 1975 saw over 1,600 dogs entered over the weekend of 4 shows. It also shattered the attendance records and profit records for the whole expo. Over 200,000 people were recorded as attending the expo that year.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
I was there that year.
Yeah,
I was there in 75,
Yep. Cool. In 1979, the show was still a strong place to go for competition, boasting numbers of 767 dogs on Saturday and 669 dogs on Sunday. The show ended in 1981, but stands in Canadian dog show history as one of the grandest and greatest shows we had, and it all started with sportsmanship.
You just gave me a bit of goosebumps there.
I got that too.
Yeah. It was an incredible time. I had so much fun on the Sportsman show. I remember one time a friend of mine, and I lived in, at that time I lived in Blackstock, Ontario, which is near Port Perry. And a friend of mine, we hitchhiked to the dog show because my parents weren't going that year. And it was the March break, so we wanted to do something. His older brother was going to school at Ryerson, so we had a place to stay that wasn't too far from the show grounds, and we hitchhiked to the show. And it was always getting there was always a bit of an issue, but going home there was always some dog show person that, you guys aren't hitchhiking, come on, we'll take you back, and they would find someone going that way. But it was a fun time. Believe it or not, the passes back then, you would get your ID, your pass, and one pass would let you take 2 people in on one pass to the Coliseum and to the whole event. So what Andrew and I did, we scalped. We got passes. Because I knew people there, even as a kid, I knew people. So I got 2 passes, one for Andrew, and you want to get it for half price? What do I get it for half price? So we'd make money scalping passes to the Sportsman show. It was a great summer job. No, March break job.
Little profiteers.
Yeah. But we did, and it was incredible. And I can't believe it, because that was about 78, 79. So I went 13 or 14, let alone that we hitchhiked, then we scalped, and then we walked into downtown Toronto and stayed at the campus on Ryerson. We stayed there.
That's because our parents cared.
Yeah. You see Will? I don't know where he is. Oh, he's probably in bed.
All right. Yep. No, it's one of those things that, we started in dogs in 90 or in 74, 75, but like going to Toronto for a dog show, wouldn't have been on the radar. And I got my first English setter when I was turning 12. So that would have been in 82. So
it's funny because we were talking about, at the dog show this week, and Bob Whitney was there. We were talking about your brother Raymond was there, and how no one realized that he actually came from Pyrenees as well, just like the whole family.
Yes.
And Bob said, "Well, I gave Raymond's mother a message show with her Pyrenees." So.
Yep. He did.
Knee deep in the lore of the Great Pyrenees. That's what I used to say to you. Knee deep in the lore.
Yes. And it's so funny because I am totally drawn to the breed, even though I haven't, really been around a Pyr probably in, I'm thinking almost 20 years, because the last one I showed was Joanne Davies.
Mrs. Davies.
Mrs. Davies, friend of the show.
We never called her Joanne Davies. She was always Mrs. Davies.
That's because she was one of my teachers. That's why. So, yeah. So that was, but it's funny how you are. Yeah, how people's histories, because everyone thinks of Raymond as the whippet guy.
Yeah. Right?
Meanwhile, we were dragging Great Pyrenees around as little kids.
Yep.
Yep. Anyhow.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we got to do that.
We started a Facebook page a couple weeks ago.
Yes, we did.
We already have a good number of followers. Yeah, Megan did. Friend of the show, Megan Wozniak. Garcia. But we already have like 600 plus followers, so it's catching on,
It is.
But last week, our research and development team came up with a question.
Right.
Megan Wozniak.
And, I'll read the question. So
yeah, you go ahead.
Our Facebook page, we asked, in light of the recent developments between Canada and the U.S., will you be traveling to shows across the border? And Megan very wisely also put, keep this classy. It's about dog shows, not political rants. And I'm pretty sure basically everyone understood the assignment.
Yeah,
and
for the most part,
we got a lot of really great responses. And it's like our question says, this isn't about the political battles that are going on right now. We just want to know, for everyone to know and to give their view and their opinion and, where they're coming from on their decisions they make. And maybe the way you think about something helps somebody else think about it too. Or
we don't want to get into politics, but it is politically motivated because of the events. But we're trying to keep it dog related, so that it's just, are we gonna be there for our dogs to go either side of the border? Yeah. Are we gonna see our friends? Because we have family in America.
Well, it's exactly like that. And our dog show family sees no border. It doesn't.
Right.
And the thing, for me personally, will I be going to the States? Yes, there will be times I will be going to the States. Will I be doing as many dog shows? Hard to say, because first of all, I don't have a dog that I need to take to the States all the time to show. Miss Fanny finished in the January, so I'm not looking to finish something. Will I go to some specialties? Yes. Will I be going to my national? Well, my national's out on the West Coast, and it's in September. I can't make that call yet.
Right. And it's the same reason it could be the same reason that our entries are going down. People are fearful of what kind of money they have to spend on their sport.
Well, and the exchange on our dollar is crap.
It's crazy right now.
And it's not, I don't really foresee that getting that much better in the foreseeable future. So if we're looking at, spending
$1 down there is almost $1.50 up here. So
yeah. So to our American friends, cometh There's lots to do here.
You get a bang for your buck up here in the north.
Bang for your buck, and you get the joy and the comedy of your Canadian friends.
Now we have a bunch of the comments here. I don't want to go through them all. But the gist of it is like somebody from Buffalo said that they would be supporting both family and be going to both sides of the shows, both sides of the border. Another one said they will continue to show in the U.S., attend car shows, and visit their many friends. And some Americans said they're still going to cross to Canada and come to shows. So like we're getting a good broad base of both Americans and Canadians. And then even though we're the Canadian edition, we still want to include our American friends because we talk about anything.
Exactly.
So it's a show about anything.
Anything and nothing at all.
And then there was some people that were torn. They were torn if they wanted to spend their money down there because it's expensive to spend our money down there right now.
It is. So and a lot of people still say they're going to their American national because for us as dog people, our nationals, especially the American nationals, because there are just more dogs attend, right? And when they're larger, you get to see more of your breed. You get to see more breeders, et cetera, et cetera. So a lot of people are still, as much as they, may not be going to all breed shows, a lot of people are still saying, well, I'm still going to my national. So, and there's no right or wrong answer to this either, obviously.
Right.
It's, you have to do what's best for you, what's best for your family and your situation. So if you can afford to go to your national, then by all means, go to your American national. But if you just feel like maybe this year it's easier to sit out, then sit out.
Hey, it's a personal choice. I was just happy that we had such a response. We had almost 400 comments, I think, on it.
Yes,
and 99.9 were completely non-aggressive at all. Like they just explained their situation and what they felt they had to do for themselves this year, and that's what they did. So.
Right. And basically that's the whole, like the gist of it. And I think, and that's delightful for us to see as dog show people, that beyond the politics, and because, our politics can be so divisive, that, when we walk into a dog show, that just all gets pushed to the side. Yeah. And we're here because we enjoy each other's company. We enjoy our passion for the dogs. And that's what we want to dwell on. So.
We want to stay positive here on the Dog Show Drive. No, we can't always because events happen, and I think it's we need to speak up about it. But we want to stay positive for our dog family, our dog friends, and the sport in general. Because like who knows? It might be the dollar that's scaring entries in our dog shows. We don't know for sure, but it seems to be a trend across the country right now.
And I mean, I'll be honest, there's a few shows that I would probably go to, but like at the moment I'm thinking, well, between the cost of hotels and then, entry fees and dining out, it starts building up, and then you add 50% to it. My little weekend, honestly, my little weekend to Duluth, like it shouldn't cost me, $2,000 to $3,000 for a 3-night, adventure, 4 hours from my home.
It definitely will. It definitely will.
Well, that's it. And so do I have that kind of, extra money to spend on that? I don't know. No. I don't know. So
hopefully things will balance out and we'll get closer to being normal again. And
I think we all understand we're in this together. It's like, as far as us as the general public, we're kind of at, the politicians' mercy. They're the ones that are doing this. It's not us.
Not the general public. Yeah. So even when you see the booing of the national anthems on TV, because each national anthem is being booed now.
Yeah, which is ridiculous, but
it is ridiculous. But they have to remember, we're not booing their team. We're not booing their players.
No,
we're booing the situation.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing, and I know it's hard, and I think probably that maybe the game should take the anthems out of the game for now, just to keep it
Might
more
be
about
easier.
the game.
Exactly.
Just like in the sport up here, more about the sport than what's actually happening in the world around us. Does it affect everyone? Of course, it affects everyone.
Sure, it does.
It's we have to. And people, there are some passionate people out there on both sides, but it's we got to try to keep our heads about ourselves and use common sense. I know that's a hard term sometimes, but it's a term that's important right now. Common sense, and don't do things out of hatred. Don't do things out of hatred. Look at what's best for everybody.
Yeah,
not because
and to me, I always Carolyn laughs at me because sometimes I'll get an email and it'll be from, whether it be from a client within my business or whatever, and it'll make me hot. Like I'll be mad about it. And I never answer those right away.
No, you can't.
I let them sit for about 24 hours before I decide to respond. And I think sometimes we need to do that, right now too, with all the heated political stuff, and you hear something and you just want to and like jump on the keyboard and do your rant. And sometimes you have to sit there and just like let it sink in for a minute and do some research, make some decisions, fact check stuff before, you just start. And that's even to responding to people as well, right? Because
I think all social media should have some sort of device that when you write something, it should pop up and say, "Are you sure you want to press the button? Are you sure you want to press that send button? Do you want to reread it? Think again?" Yeah. Should be my mother's voice, I think.
Right? Good old Pam. Pam's like, "William,
are you sure you want to say that? Is that really how you feel?"
No, I'm not going to lie. There's been some threads I've read that are very entertaining because they're just crazy.
They keep you going, but seriously, people have to. They really need to fact check things before they get rolling on there.
Yeah, because there just is so much disinformation going on out there, like so much, and it's like wow.
Facebook has got some fact checking thing.
It seems to pop up every once in a while.
This
has been proven to be incorrect.
Right.
But they still leave it up there. Like they still leave the disinformation up there. But I guess I can see that point where it's like, this is a lie. It's sort of like the Maury Povich show.
This is entertaining, but remember, it's a lie. Jerry.
Hey, did you ever watch that documentary?
No, I didn't. No.
Oh, you should watch that. That is wild. It is wild.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Basically, like Jerry Springer's show is the reason why we have so much shit television. At one point I was trying to get Judy Taylor and Jennifer McCauley to interview together, and I forget which one said, "That'd be the Jerry Springer show. We're not doing that."
That would be such a good interview.
And no one has come up with the answers. Commented. Well, it's on the Facebook page now. There's a couple comments.
On the Facebook page, people. You don't have to go searching for it.
Yeah, the picture is on the Dog Show Drive Facebook page, which I think I want you all to join, please. I want to see the numbers doubled by next week. But there's a picture on there. We're not going to show it here because you can go check it out there. I think I shared it on my page as well. But yeah, but we're going to hold the prize back.
We're holding it.
But each week it doubles.
The time someone answers, they're getting like 14 toques, 13 cups.
4 golden toques. 3 pounds of back bacon, 2 French toast.
And a beer. In a tree. Yep. So
anyway,
that's all.
That's all. That's all,
Yeah.
folks.
That's it. My brain injury is taking over.
Yeah. So we have to go now. We have to rush Yvonne off to the quiet room now.
I need to go for an
protocol.
MRI.
She's not going to be in the game the rest.
It's super funny because my cousin, who does work the MRI machine at the hospital, her friend, I do her taxes, so her friend texted me and I said, I got a bit of a head. And I told her about hitting my head in the bathroom. And then I get a text from my cousin, do you need an MRI? No.
When we close, come on in. We'll sneak you in and run you through. You know how to read this now.
Why are there so many beans jumping about? Anyway, that's it.
Anyway, yeah. So
what do we do next week?
Yeah, I don't know. We got a game plan for next week?
I don't know. I think we missed that part of the production meeting.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about next week.
Were we going to discuss?
We didn't use. I knew we wouldn't. I knew we wouldn't use the tagline: "Conversation, not confrontation."
Yes, that was good. So at the beginning of the question on Facebook, that's what Will was supposed to say.
Yeah, we were but it was great because most people did that. It was a conversation, not a confrontation.
Yes, it was.
So
it
was great, and I'm really happy. The response was overwhelming, and I'm glad it created conversation. And without getting
thank you for all those that responded. We appreciate your participation in our little experiments.
Yeah. But go to the Facebook page and you'll see some coming events, maybe or things you've missed. And the drive will be posted there each week. We have a new logo coming out. We have a new theme song we can't tell you about yet, but we have a theme song coming out soon.
Yeah.
Pardon me?
We're working. We're
secret.
Working
It's a secret.
I know. I'm not saying anything.
I may have let it slip this week to a couple people. Like, keep it to yourselves.
Yeah.
Just because I was so excited.
Me too. I've told people too, but they're not dog show people. So they're like, "Oh, that's
your banker
super cool."
or the pharmacist. Guess what? Oh, that's great. There's that crazy lady with the big hair again.
The MRI specialist at the hospital.
Oh, she's really talking now. Well, when I was in my stupor during my hospital stay, I was convinced I was sharing my room with Burton Cummings' backup singer.
That would have been so cool.
I was convinced.
No sugar tonight in my coffee. Drink it tonight in my tea.
I don't even know who the backup singer is. But he was my roommate, whoever it was. Anyway.
Yes.
You best take us out of here, Yvonne, before we carry on to the next show.
Before my head explodes.
Because we're not getting any better. We're just getting older.
Older, yes. So everyone traveling.
That's Thora Brown's line about dogs. Don't take too long judging. They don't get any better. They just get older.
So everyone traveling to a show this weekend, stay safe. Seatbelts on, glasses on. Till next week, guys.
See you next week, guys. Clark, stop scratching.
Because you never know who might come out. Okay, I can't find that thing you want me to find.
You press that and more comes up.
Yeah, there's no crying in dog shows.
You're not getting anything good here, dog.